Tristan, guess what? Hi! Hi! What? Tristan! Tristan! God. What?
My big girl, right?
No, touch it, Tristan. What? What are those?
Hey, Steve. How you doing? Peter.
What's this?
Over there.
So we just, whoops. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the March 5th, 2017 regular meeting of the Milford Board of Aldermen. Please join us as we salute our flag and then remain standing for a moment of silence in memory of those we lost at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Just want to welcome the Girl Scouts here tonight. Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Alderman Anderson.
Present.
Alderman Beatty. Present. Alderman Fortunati. Here. Alderman Gaynor. Here. Alderman Gurman. Here. Alderman Giannatasio. Here. Alderman Golden.
Here.
Alderman Grant.
Here.
Alderman Hardeman. Here. Alderman Smith. Here. Alderman Sutton.
Here.
Alderman Tranquilli. Here. Alderman Vecchiarelli.
Here.
Alderman Vitro.
Here.
Alderman Vitale. 15 present, Mr. Chairman.
15 present. We do have a quorum. At this time, the mayor has a presentation. Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. It is my special privilege to announce that next week in the city of Milford is Girl Scout Week. And in honor of this special occasion, I do have some of the most civically minded young gals in all of Milford with us tonight, and I would like to invite all of the Girl Scouts, the Brownies, the Daisies up to the front of the auditorium to help me with an official proclamation. Come on up. Oh, you hold it. You can hold it. Okay. So on behalf of the city of Milford, it is my privilege to read an official proclamation. Whereas on March 12th, 1912, Juliet Gordon Lowe assembled 18 girls with the intent of providing them the opportunity to develop physically, mentally, and spiritually. This marked the beginning of the Girl Scouts of America, a thriving organization that is celebrating 106 years. And whereas a small group of 18 girls and one leader has grown to have 2.6 million Girl Scouts, 1.8 million girl members, and 800,000 adult members, primarily working as volunteers. And whereas girls at home and abroad participate in troops and groups in more than 92 countries throughout the United States, and over 100 local Girl Scout councils offer girls the opportunity for membership across the United States. And whereas through its membership in the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, Girl Scouts of America is part of a worldwide family of 10 million girls and adults in 146 countries. And whereas throughout its long and distinguished history, Girl Scouting has helped build millions of girls and women of courage, confidence, and character who act to make the world a better place. Now, therefore, I, Benjamin Blake, Mayor of the City of Milford, on behalf of all the citizens of Milford, do hereby proclaim the week of March 11th through March 17th, 2018 as Girl Scout Week in the city of Milford, and urge everybody to celebrate this great occasion. And ladies and gentlemen, while the Young Girl Scouts are clearing the auditorium. We may want to take a quick break. It may also give us all an opportunity to place our orders for Samoas and Thin Mints. I know it's that time of year.
All right, we're back from recess. The next portion of the meeting is devoted to public comment. Statements are limited to the legislative function of the Board of Aldermen. The time limit granted to each speaker shall be 3 minutes. Residents, taxpayers, and electors may address the board at this time. The board encourages speakers not to express derogatory, insensitive, or offensive statements or to engage in personal attacks against individuals. In order to allow everyone an opportunity to speak, I'd ask that everyone please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Anyone wishing to address the board at this time could come to the podium and give us your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Gary Kupfer. I'm at 91 Melba. I've actually talked to some of you in the past about... Okay. I'm Gary Kupfer at 91 Melba Street. I've talked to some of you in the past about noise issues associated with bars in residential neighborhoods, such as the Beachcomber. And I realize that noise is an issue that you all have grappled with in the past. And I realize it's fraught with difficulties, but I do think it's unreasonable for there to be the equivalent of a frat party every week taking place within a residential neighborhood. I do think it's unreasonable to have an establishment such as that open till 2 in the morning on weekends, 1 in the morning during the week, to have patrons gathering in the front to the hours of closing, smoking and being loud, as people will do who have been drinking. And of course, all of the exiting noise that takes place when people are leaving at 2 in the morning from the bar. So perhaps if noise can't be accounted for and legislated, as I'm sure I understand that's difficult, perhaps hours of operation can be looked at, because I do think, and I know for sure that in talking to other citizens of Milford that such issues exist in many other areas of town, that perhaps hours of operation and hours of noise can be looked at collectively. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Cooper, and I'm the Executive Director of the Milford Performance Center. Hopefully by now, many of you know about the concerts that we're doing over at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium. And I just wanted to give you sort of a heads up. I know you have notes there, so I'll be brief. But you know, as to what we did last year as well as what we're planning on doing this year, and I also look forward to your, any comments either here or privately, and some ideas, because it's new, so we're trying to really formulate as we go along. But there are many other popular establishments around the state, such as Ridgefield Playhouse, which was also an old high school turned into a government center, turned into a playhouse. So with that in mind, we started as an idea about 18 months ago with no dollars in the bank. I raised the money by selling ads, sponsorships, what have you, and that money went towards deposits. You have to book acts several months to 6 months in advance and pay deposits out and all that. I'm going to sort of skip through and skim through this because you have the notes. Let's see. We are, by the way, we are a 501c3. We're actually a project of the Charitable Hand Foundation, but each one of our events also has several different entities that we help, nonprofits, whether it's Food to Kids, Rotary, Bethel Center, many organizations we've helped this year, both with funds, free tickets for their event, for fundraising events. We're starting our second year now, and we're going to repeat the process again. Our first show for this season actually was the Buddy Holly show that was this past weekend. We've been bringing in some pretty, big events. I mean, we've had Sha Na Na in the first year. We had the cast of Beatlemania with the original Paul from Broadway. The Lords of 52nd Street is coming back again. That was the original three guys that played with Billy Joel back in the 70s and 80s. Let's see here. I'm skipping around a little bit. We've had Jay Rowe for his CD release. All of you know Jay. We had the off-Broadway production of The Gong Show. In the fall, we actually have some theater coming in, off-Broadway style theater, some of them national tours. Let's see here. One of the important economic factors that we're doing with the town, the restaurants and some of the small stores have been really liking it, because the national statistics say that $37 is spent by everybody that walks, an average of everybody that walks through the door. With the amount of people that we had come in last year, which for a first year was not bad, I had pie in the sky hopes for more, but it's a growing process. And we did bring in a lot of economics into the city, and I know that there were times where you couldn't get into many of the restaurants. They were totally booked. I remember one person saying they tried to get into Seven Seas during the Sha Na Na concert, and everybody was in there, including Sha Na Na. So I know that that's working. One of the things we do is ask in the lobby, did you go out for dinner? Where did you hear about us? That type of thing. And that's been, pretty popular. Everybody this past weekend was out. Even people from our own town, not just the people we're bringing in from out of town into our city. I know we've been working on what are we trying to call it? Stay and Play with the Bureau out of New Haven for tourism. And this past weekend we had some from Pennsylvania, New York, staying at the Hampton Inn to see the show. We're drawing from outside the community. But even within in the community, I was told that, hey, it's a good time to go out and grab a bite to eat and make a night of it. So that's working out pretty well. Without reading all of the other notes and everything, is there anything that you guys, any questions that you have? I know, there's been some discussion in different meetings and things. So, I'd love to, address any ideas, or, we can set up something where we get together privately, your choices?
What I'm going to do, Mr. Cooper, is ask the aldermen here if they do have any questions for you. They could, if you would be so kind to stay after the meeting has been adjourned, and they can meet with you at that time. They may or may not have questions for you. That'd be great.
Questions or advice? Advice is always welcome.
Advice and questions, good. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name's Ann Berman, 77 Pelham Street. The reason I came today is I wanted to hand out, and you all have them, the what you can recycle. And we had a, I think, rather successful meeting at the library, and the library is partnering with the ECC about doing some programs. And the next one I gave you the flyer too. It's going to be on the polluting plastics, which is a major, major problem. But anyway, go back to the sticker. So we attached to the old sticker what you can do. It's called now. This is state. This is all standardized for the whole state. What you can recycle, and they call it in and out. On the top, all of those on the top where it's colored is we can recycle. And then it explains some of them on the end. It describes, excuse me, what you can do, and they emphasize it has to be clean and empty, of course. And the major thing that, as Steve Johnson said, is that the major problem is that people put shopping plastic bags in the recycle bin, and it really gums up the works when it gets to the Winters Brothers. So we want to try to emphasize to keep those bags out of the recycle bin. Now, we know that Adams or any of the other stores will take plastic bags, they take plastic packaging, like as Mr. Grant said, from the bread covers, but it's also, you'll get things that are packaged in like a plastic bag. You clean those out, and they will take all of those along with your plastics, which is very convenient. And now on the out thing, I'm just going to bring up, we used to be able to recycle shredded paper. You cannot do that anymore. We wanted to put it in clear plastic, but it just didn't work. So, I don't know, maybe some places shred it. I think Staples does. I think some of your banks might shred. So, I don't know what they do with it, but unfortunately, we can't put it in the recycle bin. So, but I think this is pretty explanatory, and hopefully, I put this was attached to the old sticker. And now under the sticker, you might find where you can, there's some addresses where you can put, like the Sergeant Drive with a hazard waste. And hazardous waste can go to the transfer station also. And all electronics go to the transfer station. I don't know, I think it's on here somewhere, but I'm not sure, I don't see it. But that's all that should be listed. And and then paint can be recycled. I think Colony paint will take. There's another. We have to get some more information about certain things that you can dispose of, and no materials go in into the recycle. No materials, cloth, clothing. All of those go to. Now, if you have clothing that's damaged, paint on it, whatever. Goodwill will take all of that. They'll take even if you have one shoe for a pair. I mean, leather straps and so forth. So there's a place for just about so many other things that you can get rid of that don't go, that can be disposed of. So next month we are going to be doing the plastics, and that's the big problem. China, of course, you may know, not taking plastics anymore. They're piling up in all our big backup on plastics. So I think we're going to try to, and then it's been known that 91% of plastics are not recyclable. So that's going to be a problem. So I think that when you go, what we're trying to encourage people, San Francisco goes to zero waste in about 2 more years. Now, I don't know if that's possible, or partially it is, if we can find new places to get rid of plastic, but to try not to buy things that have plastic on them, or and that's going to be a problem too. We're hoping that more stores will do, you can buy in the bulk and bring your own containers. I mean, that's the idea of the only way I can think that we're going to get rid of plastic bottles. Anyway, so come on Saturday, that's on April the 14th, and bring your questions and bring some answers. Thank you very much.
Anyone else wishing to address the board can do so at this time. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item number 3, consideration of minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the regular minutes. Let me try that over again. I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen held on February 5th, 2018.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Vecchiarelli, there was no special meeting. Agenda item number 5, Chairman's Report. As you all know, the month of March is contains St. Patrick's Day, and we have the chairman of the St. Patrick's Day Parade sitting here along with us, who's done this successfully for like 28 years.
I've been involved 28, but I've taken it over for 20.
All right, Mr. Marty. Anyways, the parade is this coming Saturday at 1 o'clock. We meet at 12:30 at the Parsons parking lot. Also want to, I'm gonna have you say your piece, Mr. Alderman.
We start St. Patrick's Day, the celebration of St. Patrick's Day tomorrow with the flag raising of the tricolors at City Hall at 2 o'clock. If anyone is interested in coming out and watch our Grand Marshal and our brand new Miss Emerald Isle help raise the flag for the month of March. That's tomorrow. The parade day is 2 o'clock. Parade day is March 10th. And according to the weather, it's going to be 43 and sunny. And I've been sitting up every night looking at this nonsense. So I just want to let you know about that. But step-off time for the parade is 1 o'clock. We'd like to have you there before 12:30 for the reason the police department closes all streets at that point, and there's no exception in coming down. So if you can get there by 11:30, 12, I'll be a very happy camper. So that's pretty much it. We have over 2,000 participants this year. So the parade just got a little longer. Yes. 1. Oh, step-off time is at 1 o'clock. I've never changed.
I want to thank you, Marty, for all these years
Thank
of
you.
successful St. Patrick's Day Parade. I wish the amount of people that goes to your parade goes to the Veterans Day Parade and the Memorial Day Parade, but that hasn't happened yet. We try. Also want to remind everybody that this coming Sunday, you turn your clocks ahead. Otherwise, you're going to be late. That's all I have. Agenda item number 6, Mayor's report and recommendations. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Good evening. I respectfully request your consideration and action on those items on the agenda tonight. It's a very short agenda, but I request your consideration on items 8A through 8C. I would also like to direct your attention to item 6A. It is a mayoral appointment for an alternate on inland wetlands, Ranjit Bahav, who is with us in the audience. I'd ask you to hold off just a couple minutes, and we will invite all the newly sworn-in board and commission members up to the front to have our city clerk swear everybody in at the same time. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I know that we started the meeting off with a moment of silence for the victims of Parkland, Florida. It's been on our minds over the last couple weeks. With each of these tragedies that we've had, we've been thinking about the safety and security of our students. As a dad, that's first and foremost, to make sure that our kids are safe. And I would like to invite everybody to go to the Board of Education website, take a look at the presentation that the SROs, the school resource officers, did at the February 12th meeting of the Board of Education. I'm happy to invite them to one of our future meetings as well to give us a similar presentation. But you've seen how much the City of Milford has done to enhance our security, our emergency operations protocols, our school infrastructure, our personnel, how much we have enhanced our security really since Sandy Hook. And it does make me as a dad feel a lot safer sending my students to school, even in this world where we've seen so many tragedies recently. But I invite you to go to the website for the Board of Education, take a look at that presentation. And other than that, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I do have one sad announcement. Last week, former chairman of the Board of Aldermen, Thomas Byrne, passed away. I would just ask that you keep his families in your thoughts and prayers. And with that, if you have any questions, I know that there's not a lot on the agenda tonight, but I am here to answer any of those.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Agenda item number 7, there is no unfinished business. Agenda item number 8, moving on to new business, Alderman Vecchiarelli. Agenda item 8A.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the appointment of Jeffrey Adelino, 5 Mill Pond Close, as a member of the Building Code Board of Appeals to fill a vacancy position, term to expire 12/31/21.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item 8B.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the appointment of Louise Ruchetic, 32 Whaley Ave, as a member of the Milford Library Board to fill the vacant position, term to expire 12/31/19.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just for clarification, it's Louise Uhofchek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that clarification. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item 8C.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the appointment of Christine Valaquet of 10 Seaview Ave as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals to fill the vacant position, term to expire 12/31/21.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. At this time, will all of our newly confirmed board and commission members come to the front of the auditorium to get sworn in by our city clerk.
Could you all please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or sincerely affirm that you will uphold your duties and responsibilities to the best of your ability on your prospective boards for the city of Milford, so help you God, or under the pain or penalty for perjury or false statement?
We're going to open under agenda item number 9. There is no new business. Open under agenda item number 10. Moving on to budget memo transfers. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item number 10A.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the budget memo transfers, number 7 and number 8, Fund 10, FY 18.
The motion has made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to refunds. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item number 11A.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the refunds in the amount of $178,590.88.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Open under agenda item number 12, reports of standing committees. Are there any reports of any standing committees? Seeing none, we'll open under agenda item number 13. Is there any reports of any special committees?
Mr. Chairman,
Alderman Anderson.
I don't have a report, but I did want to ask when we would be in possession of the budget schedule for the upcoming department head meetings. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, through you to Alderman Anderson, the Board of Finance, weather dependent, is scheduled to wrap up their proceedings this Wednesday evening. And based on that, the chairperson and our board secretary should get a schedule for the Board of Aldermen forthwith. Usually, the very beginning of April is when we can expect to have our first meeting for the budget. In past, I think it's even been April 1st, but we'll get that to you within the next couple days.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Anderson. Is there any more special committee reports? Seeing none, we'll close under 13, open under agenda item number 14, executive session. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss 14A, consideration of settlement of Tower Shopping Plaza Association versus City of Milford regarding 454 Bridgeport Avenue. Joining us in executive session for item 14A will be the Mayor and Assessor Dan Thomas. Is there a motion?
Second.
Favor? Aye. Opposed? We're in executive session. Will the aldermen please take their seats? Thank you. We are now out of executive session. Alderman Vaccarelli.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to authorize settlement in the matter of the Tower Plaza LLC versus the City of Milford in regard to 454 Bridgeport Ave, in accordance with the recommendations of the City Attorney and City Assessor as discussed in executive session.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thanks, Nick.